What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Hurls and Small Show. Coming to you guys on another Friday as usual, but with nothing to fucking talking about because nothing's happening in the NFL. Free agency hasn't opened up yet, so here we are. Last episode we did one thing that every AFC team should make, so today we're doing every NFC team. But before we get there, I gotta ask how my man's doing. He's refreshed. If you didn't know, he waking up from a nap. So Smalls, how you doing? How you doing?
You gotta call me out like that. I'm doing good, dog. I already apologized. It was my fault. We're filming it a little bit later than usual. Usually we start about fucking. Damn, I didn't even mean to drop the F ball. We start
I
about
dropped one early
12:40.
too, bro. Literally in my third sentence, I dropped one.
We started at about 12:40 most nights because somebody don't want to get home from work earlier. He just gotta.
My fault.
They close up
Actually,
shop and he wants to help help boss man do everything.
He said he's
the
the
only
same
worker
way,
that
but
can work.
okay.
But I was laying in bed, thinking of topics for small talk.
Mhm.
The next thing I know, I'm waking up 2 hours later.
I didn't even
Had
know it
no
was that long. I
intentions
thought
of.
it was like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I didn't know it was that long. Fuck.
I fell asleep at it had to have been like 10:40.
Damn. Wow.
Because I was most days when we're filming, I take a little nap because I don't stay up this late on other nights.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm gonna be cooked. I didn't have time to take a nap, and I was thinking I'm gonna be tired, and then the world went black.
Mm-hmm.
Everything got quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, we were at work today, and for anybody who doesn't know, I dislocated my kneecap early this summer, and I couldn't walk for a month and a half. It was absolutely horrible. And the doctor told me, right? And he's pump faking it.
Fist pumping.
I deserve it though. Fist pumping.
For sure.
I didn't click record. Let me click that. You're recording, right?
Bro, on me, I hit record. On me, you know it does that thing where I'm recording. Look at his face. I should have kept it going for a little longer, but I'm recording, bro. I'm recording.
I ain't say nothing. I wasn't surprised, if we're being honest.
Wow, I do it one time. Now you're just not surprised.
It was twice, actually. We did a whole ass TikTok.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Gone to the shadows.
Yeah. My fault. And from what I remember it being a pretty good one, to be honest.
But
yeah.
Doc Man told me once my knee was completely healed, he was like, you should be fine for like the rest of your life as long as it doesn't dislocate again. If it dislocates, it'll probably happen within the next 2 years. After that, you're pretty much safe. But if it does dislocate, you're gonna have to get a full-on surgery. My whole kneecap was out of play.
Okay.
It shifted to the entire left and like messed stuff up. He told me that when it first happened, he drained so much blood that there was pretty much no chance I didn't tear something because it just doesn't happen like that. My knee was the size of a softball, not exaggerating, because there was that much blood that had just like gotten up in there. I couldn't move it.
That's gross.
And I was at work today, and I went to put a panel back on an airplane, and I stepped up and smacked it about as hard as physically possible on one of the airplane steps, and it hurts like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So I'm praying I'll wake up in the morning and still be able to walk, but just a little bit scared about it because it hurts like hell.
I hope so too. I gave you the shit for being hurt, but I don't want it to linger. I was not glad that fuck that. I was glad that you got hurt, but I don't want it to be something that's ongoing. So I hope. Have you been icing it?
Is that not crazy to be glad your friend got hurt?
It would be crazy if said friend wasn't made fun of because he got hurt and tore his ACL. So it would be crazy if that was the case, but that's not the case. So it's not crazy.
And in defense of myself, I was a bit of a dickhead, but in defense of myself, I full on thought that it happened in a church pickup game.
Even if it did, why would that be a cause to make fun of me? I got hurt. It shouldn't matter whether I was getting out of bed and tore my ACL, whether I was playing basketball, playing football. It doesn't matter. I got hurt. That's all that should matter.
Because I just have the picture in my mind of I
I'm in a
don't even know who
suit.
it said.
My pastor gets off of the stage and just comes and fucking crosses me over. That's what you see, huh?
No, someone in one of your old streams was like he got crossed up by Nun Janine or some shit like that, and ever since I just had a like that head to toe nun outfit just fucking crossing you. Oh man, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was. I want to say it was 9 degrees when I went into work today, and it snowed from about 2 p.m. and it could very well be snowing right now. So
It was a pretty
that
chilly day for
blows.
us too. Like I
It was
know
62 degrees.
that's exactly it got down to like 61 today, and I was like, yo, where's this weather been? It actually felt it was so nice out today. It was so nice. I think that's like the perfect weather. Anything from like 70 to 60, I think is just beautiful weather. You know, a little chilly,
We
like
don't. We won't.
uh-huh.
We won't see 60 until June.
And that's crazy that your summer is like fucking 60, 70, 80 degrees. Like that is insane to me, but
No, because we don't ever get 60, dog. It just goes from like 50s to like 85. We don't have any of the fun weather. It's just cold or it's hot. Ohio sucks. Like, no bullshit. I love it, but Ohio sucks ass.
you were born in Ohio, like you haven't lived in any other state. Okay, okay, okay.
How you doing, dog?
I'm doing alright. Can't complain. Like I said, I was telling you earlier. I woke up today, had my fucking alarm set for. I think I had it for 9:15. Whatever it was, 9:15. The Alarm Me app. I go to do my math problems or whatever, and I actually set them to something a little more difficult, like you were telling me, just so it's not fucking 7 plus 3, and I could just do it real quick and go to bed. So it keeps me up for a little bit. I did the math problems, and I was telling you, like I wasn't even tired anymore. Like I was up and coherent. Like if somebody came into the room, I could have a full on conversation. I was like aware of what was going on, but for some reason I just laid back down. And then I woke up, and next thing I knew, it's fucking 3 p.m. And now I actually just have to jump out of the bed and start my day. Like, I just don't know what's wrong with me sometimes. It's like, why? Like, why did I just do that when I woke up perfectly fine and didn't even need the extra sleep? But I just laid back down thinking, oh, it's probably just going to be another, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And then it's another
It
fucking
never
5
is.
hours. Yeah. I was so mad at
The
myself,
scariest shit
especially because
was.
I've been wanting to go to get my taxes done. And I just haven't.
Yeah, he told me he was going to do them on
Like
Tuesday
2 weeks
and he
ago.
had to wake up early.
Yeah.
The scariest shit with sleeping is like when I used to have a real fucked up sleep schedule. My mom would like the next day she'd be like, "Yeah, I had a full on conversation with you about blah blah blah," and it's like, "Mom,
Yeah. Don't remember.
I have no recollection of what you're talking about."
For sure, for sure. Do you ever have what she calls them, where you're like stuck when you're sleeping, sleep paralysis? You ever
Mm-mm.
had that? Never. Really? You never like so like I used to be I am a like I fall asleep I think on my like stomach or side, but I usually wake up like on my back. So I would say I'm a back sleeper. I've definitely woken up. It hasn't happened to me in years, but I've definitely woken up and like I feel like I just can't scream and like I just can't move. It definitely has happened to me a couple of times. That's so are you a back sleeper?
So I get into bed and I lay on my back like towards my left side,
Mhm.
facing that wall. You can't even see what I'm pointing at. The one with the curtain right there,
Mhm.
not the one
That's what
with
I
the.
figured. That's what I figured, yeah.
And I don't know why I do it because I never fall asleep that way. I end up having to roll over, and I don't even use the pillows. I sleep on my arm, laying flat on my stomach.
Mhm.
And usually when I wake up, I just kind of get out of bed. So I couldn't tell you to be honest.
Mm. Okay, yeah, because I know it usually
But
happens with back sleepers. That's why I asked.
I sleep heavy as hell. Like
What's
it
heavy?
takes a lot to
Oh,
wake
you're a
me up.
heavy sleep. Like you don't wake up from the little noise. Like if your mom walked
No.
into your room, you wouldn't wake up. Okay. Okay. I don't think I think I'm a pretty heavy sleeper too, but I get like my mom will come in and wake me up no matter like every Sunday my mom like goes to church or something and she'll come in and wake me up. So it's not like she's like, hey Hurlins, and then I don't wake up, she just gives up. She'll wake me up to like help her put on her shoes or her necklace or some shit. So I don't know how heavy of a sleeper I really am. I don't think I'm like too heavy. I think if somebody comes in and starts moving shit around, I definitely will wake up, but not to wake up where it's like I'm up, but I'll like look around and see what's going on. But so I don't think I'm too heavy of a sleeper. But
Definitely am. My dad
yeah,
used to say that a train could go through our living room and I would never see it
yeah,
because I'd
that
still
is
be sleeping.
ridiculous. Like I'm not that heavy of a. That is ridiculous. That's insane. But
I don't
yeah,
think I've ever been that bad, but like he's an exaggerator, so
before we even get into the bulk of today's episode, make sure you guys go down, like, comment, and sub if you're new. head over to the TikTok and show some love over there if you haven't already. And yeah, like I said in the intro, we did AFC last episode for what movies teams should make, and today we're doing the NFC. And last week we went in alphabetical order based off of team, like the team name. Which order are we going in today?
If you didn't alphabetize by city, I'm gonna be pissed because I alphabetized by city this
I,
time.
I did by city. I did by city.
That's the worst way to do it, but
That's literally how the NFL themselves does it. Literally how the NFL does it.
well, the NFL's wrong. The NFL also employs people who beat women, so I mean,
Whoa! All right, that just let's start with the Cardinals. Let's start up top. Let's start with
before we get in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Portis got suspended today.
I saw that.
He got 25 games for a drug that just calms you down. Like it's a drug we give our dog because she has like she gets fucking excited too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I saw. I think it was
games.
Bobby Portis' agent or something like that. I seen him like quote tweet it and saying we got like people in the league that have like beat women and shit like that. But Bobby Portis is getting suspended 25 games. Yeah.
I saw one guy say like he's a actual like ER doctor, and it was tramadol, which it was the drug, and if you like did too much of it, you wouldn't be able to perform at an NBA level. They'd just be running around you because like you'd just be. So it's like I don't know how it's considered a performance enhancer, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I can't tell you, but yeah, I seen that. I was like 25 games. God damn! Like, what did he do? Like that is. Well, we're not gonna go there, but yeah, that's like hefty. But yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. Did you want to start? I forget who started last time. You want to start with the Cardinals? Your Cardinals low key because I know you're a big Kyler guy.
I'm not a Cardinals guy. I'm a Kyler and a Marv guy. And most times when I'm a quarterback fan, I root for their team a little bit. Cardinals, y'all suck. I just said find consistency because we talked about it so many times this season where they would look like the best team in the league one week and they would look like straight ass the next. And a big part of that consistency comes on the defensive side of the ball. No matter what team they were going with, they were giving up points because their defense just absolutely blows. And on the offensive side of the ball, James Conner's cool. You get another guy if you want to, but they have to find a true like veteran receiver too, because Marvin Harrison should be your guy, but for Greg Dortch to be your receiver too, not ideal. And homie at tight end, he's Trey one McBride. Of the best tight ends in the. Yeah, I don't know why I said homie. Trey McBride is one of the best tight ends in football, and for him to he ended up with a touchdown super late on, but for him to have it be a conversation where it's Trey McBride has 1,000 yards but no touchdowns. That's just silly.
For sure. What I had written down for the Cardinals, I had be prepared for a teardown. The Cardinals, I think, are in a weird situation where it's like Kyler Murray, we know he could be a very good quarterback, and at his very best, he could be an MVP candidate level quarterback. But it's like you said, find some consistency. It's like, when is this consistency going to come for not only Kyler Murray, but this team as a whole? This was an offense we expected to come into last season and light defenses up, and early on it looked like that. They had that week 1 performance where they were up, like, I want to say like 28-14, 28-13 against the Bills in week 1. Then they ended up letting the Bills come back and win. But you're like, you know what? The offense did their job. The defense just let them down. But then as the weeks went on, it's like you're putting up 10 points, and you're putting up 13 points, and the offense could never just find some consistency. So I wouldn't be surprised in if a year or two we're looking at the Cardinals and it's a completely new roster, top to bottom, because it's just too many times where it's like it's a portion of a season they look good, then they look bad. It's just I just don't think they can continuously do this until they're like, enough is enough. Let's start fresh. And not that they necessarily have to, can Kyler, and Kyler's not your guy. It's just like, just how long are you okay with just being on and off until you actually want to compete and be a perennial playoff team? Because the Cardinals just haven't been that. They haven't even been a consistent level playoff team. They're just always picking in like the top like 13, 14 in the draft every year. It just doesn't make sense to have a quarterback that can be as good as Kyler Murray can be. Like we saw when they started like 8-0 that one season, Kyler Murray was the front runner for MVP. Then a lot of people blame it on Cliff Kingsbury, but we've seen Kyler Murray do this after Cliff, so maybe does have something to do with Kyler Murray. And maybe it's when Call of Duty comes out, that mid-season mark. I don't know what it is, but Kyler Murray just has to find some consistency, and I think that comes into play with the Cardinals as a whole. So I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if the Cardinals look completely different in a couple of seasons.
I believe they should look completely different regardless. I don't think there's enough talent on this team. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you should tear it down because you don't need to. If you don't do anything, you're going to be bad anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have 4 players on this roster who should be like safe. The rest of them, y'all can get upgraded because this team is disappointing as hell. You have Kyler, you have Marv, you have Trey McBride, and Buddha's one of the best in the league. Everybody else, y'all can hit the dusty trail for all I care.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying the Cardinals should do this, but again, I'm just saying I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this does happen for the Cardinals.
I think they should tear it down, but to go in the opposite direction of kind of what you're implying.
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense. The Atlanta Falcons. What I had written down for them, I had a couple of different things. I at number one, I had Kyle Pitts. You got this. This is your last chance. This is your last chance. If this doesn't work, we're letting you go. We're not giving you that 5th-year option because we're not gonna pay you like you're some top tier tight end if you're not putting up top tier numbers. But we've said enough about Kyle Pitts, so I won't go too far into that. But Kyle Pitts, this is your last chance, last season. Otherwise, you're not getting that 5th year. You're not getting paid. Secondly, enough of the Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is a good running back, but Bijan Robinson is top of the league. He's a top, 5 running back in the league. We saw what he did in like the second half of the season. He was unguardable. So enough of, splitting the carries or any of that like they did early in the season. This is Bijan's backfield from the start to the end. So I don't want to see Tyler Algier back there getting some carries as well. So Bijan, this should be your team from beginning to end of the season. And then please don't be at the bottom of the sacks again. Every year the Cardinals, the Falcons have an awful defensive line and cannot get any pressure on the quarterback. Their defense is not good, but what you need to have a good defense is a good front four, and the Falcons haven't had that since God knows when. Every single year they're at the bottom in pressure rate, bottom in sacks. They have to change that eventually. So if I'm the Falcons, I think sure you want to go get some more pieces to help Michael Penix, but I think you have to go all in on this defense here, especially that defensive line, probably linebacker. Your secondary is probably your best position group on your defense. So linebacker and defensive line is where you have to go if you're the Falcons, because I think that offense is fine and can be competent with the pieces that they have and Michael Penix in place, but that defense is piss fucking poor. So I think it's really just some game plan and schematics issues on the offense, not so much the personnel, but the defense is just the personnel issue. They just don't have a bunch of talent in that front seven. So go get some players that can actually play on that defensive line and get some pressure on the quarterback for once, please.
If I agree with you, to be honest, I think that the reason their offense was bad last year was strictly because of personnel, and it has to do with one player on that personnel. And the defense, I agree that they were bad last year at getting pressures, but I don't know if I can blame them for that because Matthew Judon was one of the best in the league getting pressures in New England. And then he was just kind of below average this year out of nowhere. They traded for him, and they have Grady Jarrett, so it's not like they have bums. Like their defense, just those 2 guys alone make their defensive line better than others, but maybe it's the scheme they run over there or something that I don't know. But for the Falcons, I said don't pull any of that goofy bullshit again. If you draft a guy like Michael Penix, there's literally no reason to sign Kirk Cousins. Raheem Morris is already on the hot seat. I don't know if he's going to be there for very long. And believe it or not, I said don't let Kyle Pitts go because as disappointing as he's been,
wow,
just on pure athleticism and pure talent, he's one of the best in all of football. So if you can get it out of him, try your absolute best. If not, he's in.
So funny because literally last episode you were like, "How many chances are we gonna give him?" And now you're saying, "Don't let Kyle Pitts go." It's. So
I meant
funny.
as fans though, like fantasy football fans and shit. But like the Falcons, even if he never gets better than what he has been, he's still an average to slightly below average tight end. It's not a guy that you have to focus on upgrading a whole lot. You just got to. I don't know. And I also said that signing Kirk last offseason just occasionally when I think of it, it makes me chuckle because of how bad of a decision it was. And then in the time, it was like,
It wasn't
oh,
a
Kirk
bad
Cousins.
decision. It was because it was followed up with Michael Penix. It just didn't make sense. Like if you did one or the other, I think it would have been
It was
fine. But
also a bad decision.
no, it wasn't. Because Kirk Cousins came out in those first like 5 weeks and looked like holy shit. Kirk Cousins is balling his ass off. Just a couple of weeks ago, you brought to me the only quarterbacks to throw for 500 or 400 yards, and Kirk Cousins was at the top of the list throwing for 500 plus yards. Kirk Cousins was so damn good in the beginning of the season, then it just turned to shit out of nowhere. The problem
I'm
wasn't
not saying
signing Kirk
skill
Cousins.
though,
It was following it up with signing or drafting Michael Penix. Doing one or the other would have been fine, but you just don't do both.
but they also overpaid him way too much money for a guy that's coming off an Achilles tear.
Uh,
Who
I,
were they outbidding?
I don't know, but again, in those first 5 weeks, it looked like this was a match made in heaven. I just don't know what happened to Kirk
Week one, he
Cousins.
was literally like the worst quarterback in football, and I was damn near ready to throw a parade
And then
because
after
of my
that, he
hate
had that
watching him being
comeback. Who was
successful.
it against the Eagles? I want to say he had a comeback win against. And then they beat the Bucks twice in the early on in the season, and it's like, okay, Kirk Cousins is doing his thing here. And then yeah, I don't know, Kirk Cousins. I love you, but I can't even defend you because I really don't know. Like that game against the Chargers was fucking awful. That like it was so bad to watch. That interception he threw in the back. We don't need to go in on Kirk Cousins. It hurts me too much.
The paper airplane he threw to the end zone,
Oh, man. Is that all you
it
got for
don't
the
hurt me.
Falcons? All right, Kirk,
Yeah,
man.
that's
I
all
hope
I
you
had.
find a
Just
new home.
and the Canadian Football League.
Go ahead with the Panthers, bro. Like,
The Carolina Panthers, I just said don't even dare blame Bryce Young for all of your mishaps ever again.
uh-huh.
Because to start this season again, it's like Bryce Young is too small, he's too thin, he doesn't have an arm, he can't make the reads. Bryce Young is a fucking sophomore quarterback with below average weapons, a cool line, but nowhere near a stud line, and a rookie coach. Like, are we being serious? And shout out to Andy Dalton. He just got a little 2-year extension to be
Mm-hmm.
the backup there. And
And it
the
better
fact that
just
they
be
ever
that.
thought
It better just be that.
it is at this point, but the fact that they ever thought that Andy Dalton right now might be the better decision than staying with our second year number one overall pick,
Mm-hmm.
laughable. Damn near should have fired Dave Canales on the spot, but
Mm-hmm.
went back to Bryce and he looked good. And I after saying that, I think Dave Canales is your long term guy. I think he's an above average coach for sure, and with time he can get better and better. Bryce Young is your quarterback, and Chuba Hubbard is your running back. I really like Xavier Legette if he can get back in the right headspace after I've said it several times. I think that drop in the end zone to lose the game, I want to say to the Chiefs, I think that hurt his mindset a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen Coker had himself a hell of a year for a late round pick. Maybe go out and get a different tight end, but you don't really need to focus on that. Just bolster up your line. Robert Hunt is a dog, but if you can't get any linemen to upgrade, because their line's not the worst in the league, but it's
For sure.
not great either. But focus on that damn defense.
That was
You can
exactly what I.
literally
Oh,
upgrade
sorry.
all 11 spots on the defense.
That's exactly what I had written down for the Panthers. Bryce isn't the problem. We now we know Bryce is not the issue over there anymore. If you put the right pieces around Bryce, he can flourish. And even when he didn't have the greatest pieces around him last season, he showed that he can be a damn good quarterback. That in that last portion of the season, the Panthers were so competitive. They were in every single game. If they weren't winning the games, they were losing on a last second field goal, a last second fumble, somebody drops the ball on the goal line. Just things like that is what they were beating themselves at the end of those games. They just showed that they were a young team. They just weren't ready to win yet. But Bryce Young showed that he's not the problem. So if I'm the Panthers, we just got to do everything we can to just put the right pieces around him and see how good he can be. Because like I said, he showed that you can't put the excuses. You can't use Bryce Young as your scapegoat anymore as to why we're not winning games. Not because he wasn't good enough. Because like I said, he's shown that he's good enough. So it's the rest of the team that has to step up around Bryce.
I like JC Horn a lot, so empower him,
Come be a
but
Niner.
dead ass, go into the next season and have a whole new other 10 guys.
Mm-hmm. The Chicago Bears kept it short and sweet for the Bears. Rebuild that offensive line from top to bottom, and get a new running back. Get a new running back, please. I know DeAndre Swift had a little portion of the season where he came on and was like, whoa, DeAndre Swift finally showed up to the season. But in that beginning portion of the season, he was so fucking awful. DeAndre Swift, I didn't like him as a signing for the Bears to begin with. I just didn't think he was a great running back. So I think you have to go and get a new running back because I just don't think DeAndre Swift is your answer. And that offensive line, I understand Caleb has held the ball too long at times, a lot of times in this season. But I think it comes into play with the same thing we talked about with CJ Stroud at some point, where it's like he tries to make something happen because he thinks that offensive line just is not going to give him any time. And on the off chance that they do give him some time, he's already rolling out thinking he has to go and make a play outside the pocket. I think that kind of has played into Caleb Williams' psyche at this point. So if you get him an offensive line that he can trust and believe that he can just stand tall in the pocket and doesn't have to evade pressure on every other play, I think it'll look a lot better than what it did in his rookie season. So revamp that offensive line, add a couple of nice vets, maybe some draft picks, and get a new running back. That entire backfield, I think, has to be different. So I think that's really the biggest issue for the Chicago Bears at this point. Because I think Caleb has the weapons in Cole Kmet, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, and DJ Moore. I think his weapons are just fine. The running back, I think, needs an upgrade. The offensive line needs an upgrade. And we know the Bears defense is always going to be the Bears defense. No matter what the offense is looking like, the Bears defense is always going to be solid to damn near elite.
The NFC is exciting to me so far because the AFC we were going through, and it's like every single team we're pretty much agreeing tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, already, I just kind of disagree with you because I think that their line can definitely be upgraded. But statistically, Caleb, you mentioned it, Caleb Williams held the ball more than almost any other quarterback in all of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it has a lot to do with the schematics that this team was running. I think that Ben Johnson comes in, he revamps the entire coaching staff. I think just that alone is going to have them so much better than what they were last season. I think that they have good weapons, as you mentioned, but I don't think that they were necessarily good separators because I don't think they were being put in proper situations to be separators. I like Cole Kmet a whole lot, and you said upgrade their running back. I think they have their upgrade on their roster. No bullshit, I think Roschon Johnson can be a superstar in this league. He's got the size and the power to be a goal line guy, and he's got so much speed on him at the same time. So the only thing that would hold him back would be his elusiveness. But I haven't understood since he's been drafted on why he's being held behind guys that just aren't as good as him.
DeAndre
Whether it's
Swift
Khalil
just isn't
Herbert,
good. I just don't think DeAndre Swift is very good, to be honest. I definitely think he should be playing over Swift.
Swift is cool. He's an average running back. I don't think they should have paid him what they did, but
exactly.
Bringing him in, I didn't disagree with a whole lot. It's just the fact that they paid him too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I just said get Caleb to stop holding the ball for so long, and you'll be cool. Ben Johnson
that'll help with Ben Johnson, yeah, for sure. I think that offense will look a lot better. Ben Johnson.
I think Ben Johnson's gonna do wonders for them. I can't wait to watch them.
The Dallas Cowboys. Go ahead. Your favorite team. American
I say
team.
get Jerry Jones to pick his retirement home.
Yeah. Literally, I had Jerry Jones. It's time to go. Please, dog.
Congratulations to Zach Martin on your retirement. Mm-hmm. One of the greatest guards of all time. I said give the coaching staff confidence because so far the media has done the exact opposite. They've torn down Schottenheimer since they, brought him up. And I don't disagree with tearing him down a little bit, but at this point, it's like, at least give him a chance and then just get Dak healthy again. Outside of that, I really don't care what you do until Jerry Jones is gone because you're going to keep, this is our year, It's always been in the Cowboys thing. This is our year. America's team.
Yeah.
Shove it up your ass. Y'all suck. I'm so cool on the Cowboys, dog.
Yeah, I had the Jerry Jones things, like I said. I also say get another solid option outside of CeeDee Lamb because it was CeeDee Lamb or nothing that the entirety of that season. Rico Dowdle came on late, so it looks like you don't really need to worry about running back too much. We'll see what he looks like this season. He looked very good in that second half of the season, and I said that before last season started. That's why I thought Dak was gone. I don't know how long you can keep Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and there's been these off the wall talks about Micah Parsons and him possibly being moved because I just don't know how the Cowboys pay all three of these guys. I said it before the start of last season. That's why I really thought Dak was gonna end up being a fucking Raider, but he ended up getting signed literally the day they played, the Sunday that they're week one. So I just don't know how long they're gonna be able to be a good team if they have to play all three of these guys top of the market money because the rest of your roster just isn't going to be able to stand up to those three guys. Dak Prescott is a damn good quarterback. CeeDee Lamb's a top 5 receiver, and Micah Parsons may damn well be the best defensive player in football. But if you're playing those three guys top of the line money, the rest of your roster just is not gonna be as good as any other team in the conference. So you're just not gonna be able to compete if you're just banking everything on those three guys. So I don't think the answer is to trade Micah Parsons. I don't know what they should have done, to be honest, if I'm the Cowboys, but I just think you're in a terrible situation. And Jerry Jones, I just don't see him pulling them out of that situation. So I think the Cowboys are strapping in for a pretty rough few seasons. The Cowboys have always been they always get joked, but they're always a damn good regular season team. Dak will put up his numbers, but you know what they're going to do in the playoffs, be one and done, or if anything, win one game. But I think the Cowboys are in for some rough times and some dark days when they pay Micah Parsons and they're not able to pay anybody else on that roster. I think it's going to be tough for the Cowboys.
No bullshit. The Cowboys might be my least favorite team to talk about.
Wow.
And it's not because they're awful or anything. They were awful this season, but like they have a lot of talent on that team. It just frustrates me that Jerry Jones, we're going all in, and this is what you come out with.
Uh-huh.
You might as well go ahead and get Austin Eckler to start at running back next season.
Wow.
Some ass organization.
Wow. The Detroit Lions. I had 3 words written down for the Lions. Get players healthy. Get players healthy. Go ahead.
I had 2 words written down for the Detroit Lions. Stay healthy.
and I understand. We'll see what Dan Campbell looks like with his 2 top coordinators gone. We'll see what he looks like next season. But I think there's just too much talent on this roster. We'll probably see it from a schematic standpoint that it may not look the same. The plays may not be as fun as they were with Ben Johnson and things of that sort. But I think if this team stays healthy, they're too talented to not be at the top of the NFC again. So I don't think it'll really matter from that point, wins and losses. I don't think their coordinators will come into effect at that point. It may come into where it comes to like play calling and certain points of the game. What do you do here? I guess it'll come down and come like you'll see the difference in that term, but I don't think it'll matter for the Lions. This is just too talented of a team. They have a bunch of talent on every level of each side of the ball. I think they'll be just fine. It's literally just stay healthy. They dealt with so many injuries to so many star players that they just couldn't withstand them. So I think if they stay healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if they're back in the NFC Championship back in the NFC Championship game or in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
You said that Micah Parsons might be the best in the world, and I can't say you're wrong about that, but you also said earlier that your defensive line is the most important part of the team. And I think Aiden Hutchinson was the best in the world before he got hurt. So I'm hoping that his injury, what do you have, a broken fibia or broken tibula or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that doesn't change him that much because he's just so good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was like a month and a half after he got hurt, it's like, Aiden Hutchinson's still top 5 in pressures on the season. It's like, dude, he's been gone for 5 weeks.
Still led the league in sacks after like 3 weeks of being out and something like that. Yeah, he was amazing to start the season. It was so sad when he got hurt.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. But as you said, there's just so much talent over there that it doesn't matter how good your coordinators are. It's going to be hard to make this team look bad.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The Green Bay Packers. I think I started the last one, so you can go ahead.
I just said consolidate. They have so much young talent over there that I think you can kind of package guys to get better guys.
Mm-hmm.
But having a team full of like above average but not really any stars doesn't seem to be the method. You're going to be a playoff team every year, but you're not really a threat to beat the Lions, to beat the Vikings, to beat the Eagles, but
a healthy Niners.
The Packers are cool though. They got to figure out Jordan Love's turnover problem. Other than
Packers
that, I don't really know
team,
what
bro.
to do.
I enjoy. I really like watching the Packers, but I had written down for them. You got like you said, you got to go get a guy. You have to go get a guy, just a difference maker. Whether it's you have Josh Jacobs, but you have to go get a guy out wide. We talked about they have like 4 damn good receivers, but like you said, you got to package a couple of them and just go get somebody. Go get a star receiver out there. And like you said, the Packers are always going to be a good team if they keep this core, but you're just not going to be, like you said, you're not going to beat those top teams because you're a cool, fun team, but you're never going to be one of the greats with this roster unless one of them just breaks out. But we talked about this going not this past season, but the season before. We said, oh, well, one of them is going to break out. This is Christian Watson's team or Romeo Dobbs or Jaden Reed. But it just seems like none of the, whether they can't stay healthy or they just don't even put up the numbers when they are healthy. It just seems like there's not a solidified number one guy on this team. So they just have to go out there and get the difference maker. And then Jordan Love. I was definitely a bit disappointed with what I saw from him this season, especially coming off not this past season, but the season before when they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs and all that. Jordan Love had an amazing second half of the season. So I'm like, okay, he take that into the playoffs and whooped on the Cowboys. He's going to come into this season and he's going to ball out, be an MVP candidate, but we did not see that at all. He was turning the ball over a lot in the beginning, and we talked about it. It's not like it was turnovers like pick sixes or anything. It was always a turnover on a heave. And I get it, it's somewhat like a punt, but you'd rather, continue your drive than just fucking damn near punt the ball away. And then it turned into, in the second half of the season, all right, we're going to rely on Josh Jacobs now. Jordan Love, we're going to need to take a back seat. We're going to put the ball in Josh Jacobs' hands, and Jordan Love just don't lose us this game. So I'd love to see it go back to Jordan Love being the focal point of this offense and the engine of this offense, if you want to say. And I just need to see the Jordan Love from 2 seasons ago, not the one we just saw this past season.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams. So they're talking about trading, Cooper Kupp. They said they're going to work with him and find a spot. I said, you bring everybody back and load up for one more run with Matthew Stafford. I don't get why the Rams want to trade Cooper Kupp if you want to keep Matthew Stafford. And I get that, but the Rams just showed how you did it. The Rams are the blueprint. Just a couple of 3 seasons ago, the Rams were in cap hell. Then they went out and had great draft after great draft after great draft and showed that you could have a young team with some aging vets that can be competitive. They just did that this season. They had the youngest defense in the league, and they were a competent defense with a bunch of players. Brandon Fisk, Byron Young, Jared Verse, the defensive rookie of the year. And on offense, you drafted Puka Nacua late. You got Kyron Williams. You still have Cooper Kupp over there and Matthew Stafford. This is a talented roster. They showed. They went all in for that Super Bowl when they were in cap hell with OBJ, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. They showed that you can win the Super Bowl in cap hell. And everybody was like, well, it doesn't matter. They got their one. Doesn't matter that they're in cap hell. But they somehow got out of that. And like I said, had those great drafts. So I don't understand why you're trying to trade away Cooper Kupp and then keep Matthew Stafford. That just doesn't make sense to me. If you're trading away Cooper Kupp, it seems like you should also get rid of Matthew Stafford and just go in a different direction, go completely young. But if you're going to keep Matthew Stafford, why not keep Cooper Kupp and just go for one more run? Because you don't know how long Sean McVay is going to be there. Matthew Stafford probably has another 2 seasons at the most in him. So why not just keep your guys together, keep this core together, have another great draft like you guys have been doing, and just try to go at it one last time? I just don't understand what the plan is here.
I said the same thing as you, but in a whole lot less words. I just said pick your direction, because I don't think Cooper Kupp should be moved, as you said, and if he is, it kind of seems like there's talks of Stafford being moved as well. I know him to the Giants has been rumored a little bit, which makes no sense to me at all.
The Giants do that. They're some fucking jackasses. They are jackasses.
That's for the Giants side. I would get it if the Rams could swindle them somehow. But Matt Stafford's wife is a total talker, so I don't really know if I would want her over there yapping about my quarterback the whole time if I'm them. But Sean McVay, are we 100% sure he's even coming back next season?
Literally. So I just don't know what we're doing here. I don't know. I really don't know what the Rams are doing. No clue.
And I also said that they're phenomenal drafters and their defense is unbelievably young. So, like, if you want to just try to go the super ultra young route, cool. You better find your quarterback. There's a guy over there in Minnesota that could probably help you out, but
I wouldn't hate it.
I think I'd like that.
I wouldn't hate that swap. The Matthew Stafford for Sam Darnold swap. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
Nobody said swap.
If Sam Darnold, if they're like, all right, we're going to trade Matthew Stafford to Minnesota, and Sam Darnold, we're just going to sign you, I wouldn't hate that. Matthew Stafford, one last run with one last run with Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. Woo! Get to play your former team 2 times a year? Man,
If we
Man.
bring in Matt Stafford, we literally lose Cam Bynum, we lose Byron Murphy, we lose Harrison Smith. We can't bring back Aaron Jones.
All right. Never mind. So if not with the Rams, where do you see Matthew Stafford?
With the Rams.
Okay, I like that answer. We can move on to the team you just mentioned, your team, the Minnesota Vikings.
I said figure out what quarterback direction you go. I think Sam Darnold has so much talent, and I've been saying that for years. I've been saying just give Sam Darnold a chance. So when Sam Howell gets his chance and he's also good, I'm gonna look like a mastermind.
That's how you be doing it when I bring up something you don't care about. Is that how you be doing it? I just gotta make sure I'm right. I'm doing it right. Yeah. That's how I feel about Sam Howell. That's how I feel.
You like me talking about Sam Howell or Drew Lock less?
Sam Howell for sure. Because I was a Drew Lock guy too. I was definitely a Drew Lock guy too. When he was with the Broncos, I thought he was their guy. But Sam Howell, I don't know what you see there.
Sam Howell would do the exact same things that Brock Purdy is doing in that system.
So the Minnesota Vikings, I also had figure out your quarterback situation. I'm not even gonna entertain that bullshit over there. But for the Minnesota Vikings, I said figure out whether you're gonna bring back Sam Darnold, whether you're gonna pay him, sign him to a multi-year deal, or you're just gonna go with JJ. If you're the Minnesota Vikings right now, we need an answer. Not Kirk Cousins. Sorry, definitely not Kirk Cousins. I know how you feel about him. Sam Darnold comes to you. I need an answer today, or I'm gone. What is your answer? Are you sticking with Sam Darnold? Are you bringing him back? Or are you going to JJ?
I said it months ago. I think you have to let Sam Darnold go. I think as good as he was this year, they have 13 free agents this season, and Cam Bynum, I already said, is a free agent. Stephon Gilmore's a free agent. Aaron Jones, Byron Murphy, Cam Robinson, and Harrison Smith, among 7 other guys. You're gonna have to give them money, and you can't put yourself at risk of losing all of them because you bring back Sam Darnold. As much as I love him, as much as I truly adore him, it's like you can give Daniel Jones a way cheaper contract to just kind of do the same thing Sam Darnold did this season. I think Daniel Jones has talent that's untapped as well, and with Kevin O'Connell being one of the best quarterback coaches in all of football, he's gonna get as much as he can out of that guy. And even if you don't go Daniel Jones and you go to JJ McCarthy, I think that he had a whole season to learn as much as possible. And going into the season, Kevin O'Connell already said JJ was his guy. So a whole year of just growing your mind while your body is recovering, it's going to do wonders for him, man.
So it's not because you don't think Sam Darnold is their guy. It's just because, so if Sam Darnold wasn't there, you would be in favor of keeping Sam Darnold. It's only because you have JJ behind him, is what you're saying. Because let's say JJ McCarthy wasn't there. Would you still be in favor of letting Sam Darnold walk? Or is it because JJ's there is why you're okay with letting him walk?
No, it's because we have to sign other guys.
So even if JJ wasn't there, you just find a new quarterback. You just let Sam Darnold go and find a new guy.
I think you just keep Daniel Jones.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out whether it's Sam Darnold isn't worth keeping those other guys, or instead of keeping up those other guys, or it's because if we lose Sam Darnold, we'll have JJ to fall back on. I was just trying to see what it was.
No bullshit. If Harrison Smith ever plays football in another jersey, I will be heartbroken. Okay. There's just no way you let him go. And then Byron Murphy and Cam Bynum were too good this season to let them go. You're going to have to overpay one of them to keep them. I love Sam Darnold so much, but not to take anything away from him, I think Kevin O'Connell is so talented at getting so much out of this quarterback that whoever you allow him to handpick who he wants, and he's going to make it work.
Okay.
He made a guy like Kirk Cousins look good for years.
Oh my goodness. Enough, bro. I'm tired of the Kirk Cousins slander. Kirk Cousins was good already. Kirk Cousins was good in Minnesota, and not in Minnesota.
I also just said
he was a good. Shut up. Because I'm tired of the Kirk Cousins slander. Kirk Cousins was good in Washington.
It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop.
He was good in Washington. I
don't give a fuck.
He went to Minnesota, and he was good over there, too. Go ahead, man. What else did you say?
He is the reason that Stephon Diggs left my favorite football team. He is the reason my favorite player left my favorite team. He could be Jesus Christ reincarnated and I would not be a fan of him. He could be Patrick Mahomes, and if he was the reason Stefan left, I'd tell him to go fuck himself. Because he's not winning us championships. Case Keenum did the same thing. I would have rather kept Case Keenum.
Continue on with the rest of the episode. Sorry to bring that.
The Minnesota Vikings front office just has to go and make the right decision. It's easier said than done. But there's a lot of decisions they're going to have to make this offseason, and Kevin O'Connell should be a part of everything offensively involved. On the defense, it's going to be hard because Brian Flores is your guy, but how long is he going to be your guy? Whether he moves to a higher spot or you just kind of get sick of Brian Flores not being able to adjust to a different type of defense in the playoffs. I don't know. They got a lot of decisions to make this offseason, dude. And if they can go in the next season and be even half of the team they were this year, I'll be impressed with them.
The New Orleans Saints, a team that we have both been critical of, and I'm sure we're gonna have the same thing written down for the Saints. Finally,
I bet we don't.
Enough of being the fucking middling average team. Just finally just embrace the tank and sell everything. Alvin Kamara, it was nice knowing you. Cam Jordan, you're Saint through and through. It was nice knowing you. I'm glad you guys started it off with Marshawn Lattimore, but I thought it was going to continue, but it just didn't go that way. Derek Carr, it was nice knowing you. Spencer Rattler, we're going to see what we got in you. Everybody can go. Legitimately, everybody can go. There shouldn't be many pieces that are safe on this team. You just have to... Are you gonna say
in the words of Derek Miller?
Oh, okay.
Kool-Aid.
I was just going to say Kool-Aid, like he's the one that can't go, because I knew you were high on him.
Oh, shit, I thought you were talking about Kevin.
No,
Kevin's a Chargers fan.
In the words of Derek Miller, they got to suck good, is what you're saying?
That's exactly what I put. I just said suck good.
They just have to. Enough of being like an average team. I talk about this with the Steelers, but the Saints, I think it's on a different level because the Steelers at least give them some fake false hope. The Saints have never done that outside of Drew Brees. When Drew Brees has been gone, I've never had any fake belief, hope in this fucking Saints team. This team just isn't good from top to bottom, and they're in cap hell. For you to be a good team and not have a bunch of cap space, that's just an awful place to be in. So the Saints just have to sell everything they can and just get the assets and just start from the ground up again, please.
This is driving me nuts sticking out like that. It's been bothering me the entire time we've been recording. But the Saints, they have to improve their offensive line continuity. They had so many different units start games this season, and other than Taliesin Fuaga, they can kind of they have a good line, but just go young. Spencer Rattler's your guy. Everybody, just go young. The entire team, because as you said, you're in cap hell. Just go all in on the youth. You got Kellen Moore. You tell him, hey man, we're gonna suck these next couple years. We got to get out of this cap shit. And it seems like they're gonna start with Taysom Hill. He's probably out the door, and Kamara probably won't be going anywhere. But
extended him. Not that Kamara's not
Derek Carr.
It's just weird.
Derek Carr has to go. Saints fans are like furious with him too. I don't know if you've seen that on on Twitter, but and he sucks, so I get it. We can move on.
I used to be a Derek Carr guy. The New York Giants.
Go ahead. You know he only has 2 winning seasons in his 11-year career.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what, like, with the Raiders, I was such a Derek Carr fan, man. He was just a guy that I just wanted to root for so bad and just wanted to see win. Especially when he, like, broke his leg and he was crying on the field and people were making fun of him. It's like, how are you crying? You're a football player and you're in tears on the field. But I just wanted to see the best for Derek Carr. And that's when he was having his best season. He was a fake dark horse MVP candidate and then he breaks his leg. It was so sad to see. I was a Derek Carr fan through and through, man. But he's just not very good.
He seems like a really nice guy. I was never a fan of him on the field. The New York Giants, I said to just figure out your quarterback and move on from there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't think they should draft one. Ooh. I think they should say,
Drew Lock, we're handing you the keys, is what you're saying.
I think they should say Drew Lock, we're handing you the keys, and then move on from there. But everything starts with your quarterback. It's the most important part of your entire team. Brian Dable, if you don't win at least 7 games this year, it's probably your last season.
For sure. So it's probably
And
your
their
last
their
season.
offensive line is really bad, so you have to upgrade that, or you're not giving your quarterback a chance regardless. I would love to see if it's not Drew Lock, which it should be Drew Lock, but if it's not Drew Lock, I would absolutely love to see the Justin Fields be handed these keys.
I don't hate the Justin Fields shout either, but I just said it's kind of the same thing. I just said I said draft the quarterback. So we're both thinking quarterback here. I think that's the glaring issue on this team. Just get a guy, whether it's through the draft or like you said, Justin Fields. But the Steelers, you better fucking bring him back. And if the Steelers don't, I would not hate that at all. Justin Fields can go and he fits the timeline of some of the guys that they have over there, like Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy. So I wouldn't mind that at all. But I'm saying to draft the guy.
And Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson would be a dog, dude.
In Madden, bro, I remember telling you about this a couple of weeks ago. I love having him on Madden because I did the Giants rebuild, and he's still my tight end. Like 7-8 seasons in, he's still my guy. I love him just based off the way he was playing for me in Madden.
I really think he's gonna be a dog in the league.
Where are we? The Philadelphia Eagles. I had bring back your guys, especially Zach Bond, and just run it back. You're the Super Bowl champions. This team is probably the most talented roster from head to toe in the NFL. I just said bring back those key players, and especially Zach Bond, who was an All-Pro player this year. He came in on just a prove it deal, and boy, did he fucking prove it. So make sure you bring him back because I'm sure he's gonna want some money, and just run it back. This is your squad. And Jalen Hurts, or not Jalen Hurts, but please, can we just get Jalen Hurts an offensive coordinator that can stick around? Please. Go ahead.
Have you seen Click? The movie with Adam Sandler where he has that little remote? Probably not, but I was going to say let's rewind it for just a second back to the Saints. And I mean, it was like 3 teams ago. It's not your fault.
Oh, I thought it was the last team. I was like, oh,
I just thought of something real quick. There was a report today that the Chargers could move on from Joey Bosa because he's making too much money. And if that's the case, I beg that first off, the Saints, y'all should let Chase Young go anyway because y'all suck and he deserves better because I love him to death. I want to see Chase Young and Joey Bosa back together. That'd be awesome. So somebody out there, make it happen. So
when we had Chase and Nick Bosa, were you rooting for us?
A little bit.
Okay. A little bit. But if it was Chase Young and Nick Bosa on any other team, that would be his new fucking team. But now, since it was the Niners, a little bit.
I don't like Nick Bosa nearly as much as I like Joey Bosa.
Okay. That makes sense.
Out of the 3 of them, Nick Bosa is pretty much by far my least favorite of the 3, but I still love Nick Bosa. It's just like, he's not these other 2 guys, you know?
Okay.
For the Eagles, I said to kick back, relax, take a vacation for the next 196 days. Just stay healthy, bring your guys back. Ain't that crazy? 196 days until we see football again.
I was talking to the guys
so
earlier,
long?
like, bro, they were like, when are you guys gonna go to 1 episode a week? And I was like, shit, the way it's looking, maybe next week. And I was like, I don't know. And then Dark was like, man, like, what are you guys gonna do after like the draft? Like, what are you guys gonna be talking about in like July and August? I was like, Dark, bro, you know as much as me, bro. I really don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I said, we going on vacation.
We're reviewing the new episode of Family Feud. Steve Harvey.
Bro, I really don't know.
Yeah, that's all I said. Just kick back and relax. We can move on to the San Francisco 49ers. And you started for the Eagles, so I'll start for them. I just said go all in. So go ahead. This is your team.
Go all in. Okay, that's it. Yeah. For the Niners, I have don't overpay for Brock Purdy. And I said hit on your first round draft pick if you're not trading it. If it's not part of a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby deal, make sure you fucking hit on this draft pick because we're going to be a team that's right on the cusp of the salary cap. So we're going to need to hit on these, especially these early round draft picks, if we want to have a competent team that can still contend in the next few years, because people have been saying for a couple of years now, this is the Niners last year. This is, their window's closing. And here it is, because now we're actually paying Brock Purdy. His money comes into effect next season. So if we pay Brock Purdy and continue to not hit on our early round draft picks, we're gonna be a team that's just aging and not very good. We're gonna have a bunch of old players that are overpaid and not very good. So we have to hit on this first round draft pick if it's not in the trade for Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. And again, just don't. I don't want to see Brock Purdy getting $60 million a year, and I don't think he will. But just make sure you don't overpay him.
Not even because you're a fan, like not shitting on you at all. I truly believe. I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I think I can admit that he's a good football player, but I don't think he's nearly as good as what he's going to be getting paid. If he even cracks $40 million a year, I think that's laughable for the Niners. I think that there's so many positions out there that they could put that money towards, and Kyle Shanahan has showed over and over again that he can make it work with these other quarterbacks. And I don't think that Brock Purdy is really the archetype he wants anyway. So I don't truly see it, but it is what it is.
Brock Purdy's our guy.
I'm not saying he's not your guy. I'm saying I don't think he should make as much money as what he's going to.
And when he's a Super Bowl MVP next year at this time, making his little $40 million, we'll revisit this conversation. The Seattle Seahawks.
Well, I said go all in, so the Niners should be
Seattle
better than what they are.
The Seattle Seahawks.
And you know the quarterback gets the Super Bowl MVP every year no matter what, so.
The Seattle Seahawks.
It would be Nick though. I said keep it pushing.
I said, I was trying to figure out. I kind of like just pulled this one, not pulled it, but like the Seahawks were the team where I was like, I don't know what to really say for them. Like it's not like the Ravens I talked about last episode, but I just didn't know what to say for the Seahawks. There just really wasn't anything that
they have one of the worst offensive lines in all of football.
I said trade DK Metcalf and make this JSN's offense. No.
I don't know. I hate that you keep saying that
because DK Metcalf's. I just don't think this is not that he's not a player you should be paying a bunch of money to, but I just think there are other glaring holes on this team. So I don't want to see you pay DK Metcalf all of this money, especially when I think JSN is your best receiver, your number one guy. So you can build this offense around JSN being your number one guy. And especially with that piss poor offensive line, I don't want to see you pay DK Metcalf and pigeonhole yourself to where you can't pay and put money towards other places like that offensive line. So I really think the best option for the Seahawks is to trade DK Metcalf before you have to give him a boatload of money. And not, like I said, not because DK is not good or he doesn't fit with this team. I just think it's the best, like the smartest option.
I mean, I say it a lot because just to like screw with you. You really just don't like DK. I don't understand that one.
I literally just said it's not because of DK.
I know.
I think it's the smartest for the Seahawks.
But you've been saying all season, like, it's JSN's team now. DK's not as good as people saying, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not saying that you're a hater.
I don't think DK's not as good as people are saying. I think JSN is just better. I think he showed this season that he's the number one receiver on this team.
I'm not calling you a hater at all. I'm just saying, like, you clearly not a big DK guy. And that's fine, because there's a lot of guys I'm not a big fan of, but it's just weird, because I love DK. I think that they should keep him. Absolutely. I think that
him finds a way on every single one of your fantasy teams.
And he will continue to do that. Him and JSN together are really cool. I think that Kenny Walker's one of the best in the league. Charbonnet as a backup is beautiful. The world knows how much I love Noah Fant. The defense is extremely above average. They got a lot of young guys over there as well. It's really just their offensive line, and for any Geno Smith fans out there, cover your ears, but they could definitely move on from Geno Smith. They got,
like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to say. Geno Smith was the guy I was gonna write down because I just don't know how long you can stick with Geno Smith. They gave him like a 3-year deal. I want to say like 3 years, 80 when they signed him. So I think this is year 2 of that deal. I don't know how long you stick with Geno as your guy until you're like, all right, enough is enough. We're gonna go, somewhere else. But they like Geno, they embrace Geno as their guy. So.
They love him, yeah. Mike McDonald is a big fan of him, and I have a little bit of faith in Mike McDonald. So there's so many teams in football where it's like I fully trust what they're building, like their coaching and their staff and stuff. That I don't know who I am to be blaming them. Like a team like the Giants, I can tell y'all that y'all fucking suck. A team like the Saints, we can judge y'all heavily, but like who the fuck are we to judge what Kevin O'Connell's gonna do?
Mm-hmm. For sure, I know what you mean. I see what you're saying.
It's gonna suck predicting records next season.
Oh, it is. It is. I was thinking about this when I was looking at teams like the Seahawks and stuff. I was like, bro, because I'm gonna have the Niners back at the top of the NFC West. So I really didn't. The NFC North is gonna be a mess. I don't know what's gonna happen there, whether Sam Darnold is there or not. I don't know what to think about the Vikings anymore. I really don't know. The Panthers fuck around, win the South. It definitely is gonna be weird predicting records and shit like that. Now this is the team I struggled with the most to write something for. The Tampa Bay.
The Panthers do what now?
What did I say? Did I say
The
fuck around win
Panthers.
that division? Is that what I said? Yeah. Fuck around win the NFC South.
So who's the next team we're talking about?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What division are they in?
The NFC South. Forgot
Who's their
you're
quarterback?
Baker Mayfield. Yep, there it is. You're a Baker Mayfield truther. But this was I didn't know what to put for this team. So what I ended up putting down was this is Bucky Irvin's offense. Bucky Irvin, what you showed in your rookie season. Enough of Rachaad White and who else was in the backfield? Fuck, I forget who else. They had somebody. Ugh, fuck you, because Rachaad White is some fucking ass. It's some ass. But this should be an offense that's predicated and built around Bucky Irvin. I don't think this should be a pass heavy, or not that it shouldn't be a pass heavy team. But if it is a pass heavy team, I think it should be a lot of the short passing game involving the running backs, like they did a lot this past season. But I think it should be Sean Tucker. But I think it should be primarily ran around Bucky Irvin. I didn't really have much to say about their defense because they did get injured a lot, especially in that secondary, but they have a bunch of playmakers and stars on that defense. I know you love Vita Vea, so I think the defense should be just fine. Todd Bowles should be able to get that back right. But on the offensive side, like I said,
John McCullum a lot too.
Yeah, he was very, very good for the Bucs in the secondary. But like I said, I think this should just be Bucky Irvin's offense with Mike Evans aging, Chris Godwin coming off of injury. I really think this should be an offense predicated and built around Bucky Irvin.
Do they bring him back?
Chris Godwin?
He's a free agent, right?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they should. I would.
I would as well. Antoine Winfield's also really good over there. I said for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to just buy now or wish you had later, because this is a team that's aging. You're kind of in your window right now, and I know you said that they've kind of plateaued in your mind, but I think there's some moves out there that they can make to really push them up into, because they're in a division with not a whole lot of competition. The Falcons should be a lot better next year. The Panthers should be a lot better next year, but I don't think either one of those teams really should push them for this division. And then that fourth team is fucking god awful that you don't even have to consider. So just figure something out. Get one of the defensive edges that are available. This will be a cool team for Joey Bosa. This would be a wonderful team for Joey Bosa and Chase Young to team back up on. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But if they could go out there and get a Max or a Miles, that'd be wonderful. If not, get another. Just bolster your team. Just figure it out. But Baker's gonna have to work with another offensive coordinator as well. Him and Jalen Hurts have to do it what it feels like every single year. So
last but not least, the Washington Commanders.
Spend your money.
Yep.
Assume you're at a strip club. Just toss it out. Make that team as good as you can before you have to pay Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaden Daniels is so good that once you do pay him, he's not really going to tarnish you at all. But now is your window to make the team as good as you possibly can until you have to pay him. I think that you're good with Brian Robinson back there. I think you're good with Terry McLaurin. You can get a better second receiver. I like Noah Brown, and I don't know what's up with KJ Osborne, because he was good in New England, and then he went to where did he go? Where did he get cut from? He was good in Minnesota, and then he went to New England and was bad over there. And so I don't really know what's good. I said KJ, didn't I? His name's totally Kendrick Osborne.
No, it's KJ Osborne.
Is it KJ?
Yeah.
I'm bugging, dog. I'm bugging. But they can upgrade there for sure. They can upgrade on the defense. Just spend your money as much as you possibly can. Keep your foot on the gas.
That's exactly what I had written down. I said, don't be complacent. Don't be a team that was like, we're just happy we got there in terms like that being the NFC Championship game. Don't just say, we were the fun young team that ended up getting to the NFC Championship game. We're happy with what we had. We're just gonna run it back and hope we can do that again. You have so much money. I said, go get another guy next to Terry, and there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be in the sweepstakes for every single defensive end that wants out right now. There's no reason why you guys shouldn't be at the top of the list for Myles Garrett, top of the list for Max Crosby and Joey Bosa. There's just no reason why you guys shouldn't be. So go out there and upgrade this roster as much as you guys can. Like you said before, it's time to pay Jaden Daniels. Just don't be complacent and just be like, we're just gonna run it back because we're in the NFC Championship game. Because who knows, you can come into next season and be a one and done team. You lose in the wild card. You just can't bank on just repeating what you did the season before without improving the roster. So just go all in, buy until you got to pay Jaden Daniels, like you said.
Spend some of that money to pay Jaden McDaniels to change his last name. Because them being so similar pisses me off. I hate talking about Jaden Daniels and accidentally
I never do that ever. I know Joe does it. Like Joe used to do it, but I think that's just because he just genuinely didn't know Jaden Daniels' name, like when they drafted him and early on. But now I don't hear him do it much anymore. But I've never been accidentally say McDaniels.
So you'd be watching hoops.
Because I don't get their names confused. I don't watch hoops. Okay.
I'll just feel with you. Dog, I can't wait to watch the Heat tomorrow. I was
literally looking at tickets today because my friends have been asking me to go to a Heat game. I'm trying to go to a Heat game pretty soon here. So, but yeah, but that is all we have for, I guess, the NFL talk today. There isn't much going around the league. So yeah, we did the NFC side of things today, and who knows what we'll be doing on Tuesday. But yeah,
that might be rough. Y'all might hear us up here talking about our favorite colors and who our favorite Power Ranger was, because I don't know what else we're about to do.
So I'd be happy with that, bro. I'd love Power Rangers. I know Reese is a Power Rangers guy, so I guess we'll just replace you for that day. Have Reese up here, and we'll just talk Power Rangers all day. So I love Power Rangers, man. But go ahead.
Someone please clip him out saying that the first time. He said it like the special kid at lunch. I like Power Rangers.
Wow. Wow. Get into your shout out of Madison Green and fucking small talk, man. That is crazy.
I didn't mean to disrespect. We had a lot of special kids. I didn't mean it in a disrespectful way. It's just that's what it made me think of. We had a whole class of them. We were, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure we were like one of the highest percentage of. I don't know how to describe it. Like our special needs class was one of the better in the areas, just because as a school we actually cared about them. A lot of them they just kind of get pushed to the side, and that's kind of.
Shout out to you guys.
But you already said it. Shout out Madison Green. She's got 2 home games left in her regular season career. I will be in attendance for both of them.
Hey, and if you leave both of those games without one picture with her, I don't know if I can do this show with you. Send her a DM. Hey, I'm gonna be at the game. Cool if we, not even you don't even have to ask, you don't even have to say, can I get a pic or something? Just say, hey, I'm gonna be at the game. If you do that, I'll be fine with it. Just tell her you're going to be at the next 2 home games, please. Because you shouted her out too many fucking times to not get a fucking picture with her. So I expect after these next 2 home games, I expect to film. And then once we're done talking about football, right before small talk, I always got to do it. And I expect you to flip your phone and it be a fucking picture of you and Madison Green. That's what I'm hoping for. So you better get that fucking picture. Continue.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I already know I'm gonna.
Okay, well, just DM her. Just tell her you're gonna be at the games. That's it. If you do that, I'll be okay. If you just tell her you're gonna be
at the games. They play tonight against Indiana, and Indiana is a team that's up and down. They're super disappointing on the season. Should have been an easy win for Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And they got beat. They look like shit. The starting shooting guard, her name's Chance Gray. She's been so disappointing this month, and it really sucks because she was really good early on. Mm-hmm. And no disrespect to her, she's a stud. But if you want to keep playing a little bit bad just for these next couple games, it allows Madison to play more, so I'm cool with it. But they had a breast cancer game on Monday, I want to say, mm-hmm. and they maybe I mentioned this on here.
You did.
Did I? But I messaged her about that.
Did I?
Getting into small talk. So I already mentioned it earlier when we first started. I was in bed, laying there, thinking of topics to talk about. Completely crashed out.
Uh-huh.
So anything I thought of before I fell asleep, no idea what it was.
I thought you
So I kind of
fucking
woke up and
wrote it down as.
no, we got a lot though. I kind of cooked a little
Okay,
bit.
okay.
I got 3 topics here, and then you brought a topic of your own. Herlin's brought a topic for small talk. Wait until y'all see what this is.
Oh my!
But
Wait! I gotta stop you. So I was in the Discord with the guys the other day, and we were talking about. Poons had asked us, "Have you guys met anyone famous or gotten a picture with anyone famous?" And you had asked me this for small talk one time, and then we both ended up saying like, I don't really, I haven't really met anybody, and we both ended up saying Kenny. But I completely forgot. I have a picture with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Like I took pictures with them, and I got reminded of that, and I wanted to say that because I remember it saying it was Kenny for mine. So sorry, Kenny, you got to move out the way because I went to NXT and like Carmelo Hayes took a picture of my phone, and then we also took a picture with Trick Williams. So yeah, that's my new answer for have I ever met anyone famous.
is it crazy to say Kenny's bigger than him?
See, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe Trick Williams, but I think Carmelo Hayes is he more famous than Kenny?
I don't know. They got to be close.
Not that they're blowing Kenny out the water, but I was just like, since they're on national TV every week, a couple.
I would
times
say Kenny's bigger than Trick.
Trick for sure. Yeah, I think it was Carmelo Hayes that I think is
Carmelo being like the first pick in the draft and everything. It's like he's probably a little bit bigger, but I would say they're close for sure.
For sure.
I also met MMG though, so this is his hoodie actually. First topic. And you might not have an answer right away, so I can explain mine if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But did your mom ever have like something she was hiding from you that you knew she was doing, but like you couldn't like catch her on it, or did you ever catch her doing something that like she was trying to tell you she didn't? For example, after my parents got divorced, I knew that my mother was doing like smoking cigarettes, but she never let us actually see her smoking cigarettes. But that's like something like you can't cover. Like the smell is so horrific of them that like her car always smelled horrible, and we saw the buds all over the place. But like she wouldn't ever actually let us see it. So I don't know how she was so good at like hiding it, but I was always kind of low key impressed that she never let at least me. I don't know if one of the other two saw her, but it could be as simple as a no. But
no, I don't really have an answer. Something that came to mind, but it's not really that she hides all the time. It's like so. The other day I'd seen a suitcase just lying around. And I was like, "The fuck is this doing here?" And it was out for a couple of days. So after a while, I was like, "Mom, are you going on vacation or something? Are you going somewhere?" She's like, "No, not for me, not for me." And then so her birthday comes around. We're at her birthday dinner, and then her friend is on the opposite side of the table, and my mom's sitting on one side, and her friend's on the other side. And her friend yells from across the table, "Don't forget, be ready when I pick you up when we go to the airport. Make sure your bags are packed." So we all look at my mom and like, we fucking told you. We knew you were going on a trip. But she was like, "Look at what you did. Look at what you did. You got everybody yelling at me now." And I just knew it right from jump because I just seen that suitcase laying out. My mom was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere." But yeah, again, like her friends did this to her a couple of years ago, or last year. They surprised her and took her to like Paris. I'm not sure where they're going this time, but I know she's getting surprised up for some trip this time. And she was just lying to us, saying she wasn't going anywhere, knowing damn well she was.
why?
I don't know. Like I don't know why she did that. But in terms of anything like serious or anything like that she continuously hid, no, I don't really have anything that she tried to hide from us. At least not that I remember. So nah.
I don't know. Next thing. I there's no point in me even asking if you've seen it because I know you haven't. But you know who Jim Carrey is, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's a funny actor. My favorite movie of his is called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And the concept of it is like they have some weird ass machine they can hook up to you and they can erase any memory of a relationship you had. So like any heartbreak you had or any like just woman in your life that you don't want to remember anymore. They can just take it out of there completely and you'll never remember that you were ever like you could walk by her on the street and not know who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not like a romantic aspect, would you ever have like if that was a capability, would you do it? Like if there was a pill you could take and choose what parts of your life to take out, or do you think like your experiences shape you into who you are?
Okay, before I answer that, I looked up Jim Carrey movies just to see like, do I know any of his movies? And boy, I'm not knowing any of these.
He's the Grinch, dog.
Oh yeah, The Grinch is right here. So yep, okay, I see. Oh, I've seen Bruce Almighty too. Bruce Almighty is a very good movie. That's one I've seen. But the
That
rest,
movie literally sucks.
I love Bruce Almighty. Like I loved it as a kid. But yeah, the rest of these I haven't seen. But a pill to like get rid of. So that's you said doesn't necessarily have to be like a relationship, right? Just any.
Jim Carrey, sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
Jim Carrey retired from acting, but he came back to be the villain in the Sonic, and then he did the second Sonic, and now he's doing the third Sonic, and like he just adores him so much, like he'll do it for the rest of his life, and I think that's funny because it's like he hasn't done any other movie in probably 5 years,
Mhm.
but he just loves Sonic so much that he's gonna keep doing them.
But yeah, you said like any just person or just like any period of my life.
I mean, it can't be a whole period because that's kind of a lot to take out, but like
Yeah.
experience or like something you did maybe, but or person if you want to.
Um, person, I don't know. I wouldn't say I just want to erase a whole person from my life. So I don't think it'd be a person, but something I did. Um, like if it was a period, I would have honestly said like fucking like high school. To be honest, I just didn't really like high school to be honest, like at all. But if it's just like one singular experience, um, I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. Like that's I it's like something I would just erase. And I'm sure I do have an answer like if I just think for long enough, but I don't want to sit here thinking for 20 minutes. But I just
And that movie is that's we were talking about one before we started. I don't even remember what it was, but I said like it's not the best movie ever, but it's one I enjoyed. And Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a similar one where it's like I think it's touted as a good movie, but like I thought it was a phenomenal movie. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and like it to say it changed me is an over exaggeration, but like it just made me think a lot. I enjoyed it so much. Jim Carrey's one of the greatest comedic actors ever, and this is
mhm.
far from a comedy movie, and it's easily my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
So what would be your answer if you had to like erase something in your life? What do you think it'd be? Not
Uh,
easy when you get put on the spot, huh?
no, it's easy. I just don't want to answer it.
See, that's what I
But
was
it's
gonna say.
like
I was gonna say something, but it just wasn't. It's just not the right place for me to talk about here. I don't think it's just not the right place.
fair enough. You could have just said
Mhm.
that, but parts of my parents' divorce were messy.
That's
If I could
exactly
take
what I
out of
was gonna
that,
say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. But I was gonna you get like kind of deep into it, but it's just not the right place. But yeah, so I would say the same thing. My parents splitting apart. Not that I just say it wouldn't have happened because I don't even want to know what my life would have been like if they stuck together because I'm fine with the way my life is now. But it's just some of the things I had to see I would just erase, but not the separation in general. But some of the things I wish I just didn't need to see.
I definitely get that. The one I was gonna say wasn't the place to say. It's just like the first time I truly fell in love. I wish I could erase the way that
Mm,
ended. When we were when I was getting to that point, I don't want to lose that. But like
mm-hmm.
you know, last
Mm-hmm.
thing before we get into your conversation,
No,
which
no, we're not having that
no, we're
conversation.
talking about it. We're talking about it.
Dog. We're professionals up here. We can't be, having those type of conversations. So go ahead.
I mentioned it a little bit when we started. How the weather has just been absolutely horrible. And for anybody who's still watching, which might be about 3 people, but for anybody who's still watching, I said that if I wasn't to 185 by the end of February, I'll give out $100. And damn, do I wish I hadn't said that because this weather is just horrible, dog. I'm not. It's like it's 35 minutes the opposite
Brady.
direction from work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back under. I started at 192 when I said that, and I'm back under 190, so I'm okay with where I'm at. But like $100, I should have said like $20
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not driving 35 minutes to the gym and then 25 minutes back home, and it's like I'm not doing all that. I'm just not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So once I have some actual weather where I can just go outside and take a run or take a walk, that's so much easier than having to take the or hopefully a perfect world. Our realtor tomorrow morning gets us scheduled tomorrow night to look at this house. The house is perfect. I buy the house, and then I can build the gym in this house. Because I will have a home gym once I buy a house. It's just buying a house is so damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
So damn hard, and I wish it wasn't. So we have a city. So I live here, and then I work like here. And we have a city this way. So it's like half an hour from work. Do you blame me for not wanting to drive half an hour to work every day? Like if I can choose, I'm not being rushed out of my house. So it's not like I have to force my way out into a different city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in an area picking houses where like it the furthest I want to be from work every day is 15 minutes.
Mm. No, that definitely
You
makes
blame
sense.
me?
No, that makes sense because no, I wouldn't blame you because any job I've had is within like 10, maybe like 12 minutes. Not even. Maybe it ain't like 10 or less minutes from my house. That's every job I've had. I don't like anybody that commutes like to work where it's like 45 minutes to an hour. My cousin that lives right next to me, he's driving like an hour and a half every day to go to work. And I just don't understand that. I could never. Like literally could never. I could never do it. So I don't blame you at all.
The guy I work with drives like an hour and a half to work every day, but he's like, this is the career he wants to be in, and we're the best spot for him to further progress in his career. So it makes sense for him. But like, this is just, I love my boss to death, and they've done a lot for me. It's just a job at the end of the day. It's not like this is, I'm not gonna be. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't make sense to me to drive half an hour home and then half an hour to work every day. It's an hour of commute time, and it's 5 hours in 1 week. That's
Mm.
so much gas just for no reason, and I don't get it. I don't understand. And the house, the city that would be further away, there's so many more houses, so it does suck. But
So if you
at the end of
move
the day, I don't
there,
care that
you're
much.
saying you would find a new job or you would make that commute?
No, I would make the commute
Dang. Dang.
because I'm not gonna find a job. I'm not gonna find a job that pays me as well as this one I do now does. Because I have my associate's degree in fucking political or not political. I'm sorry. Shit. What's it called? The two political sides. It's like the Trump side and what's the other one? Like the
Democrat?
far left. Yeah, but what are they called? Liberal.
Liberals.
I
Oh,
have my
liberals.
associates in liberal arts, which is basically just like your fucking basic classes. So it does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I actually wanted to use it, I'd have to go get another one. But my job's cool as hell. It sucks in the winter because we do damn near the same thing every day. And getting into a alarmy, that's how we're gonna finish this episode out. Uh, I think that I struggle to wake up so bad in the mornings because it's like I don't want to go to work, so I'm not. I wake up and it's like, damn. And then the summer I wake up and I literally just get up and go to work. And I don't know if that's because I enjoy my job more in the summer or if it's just because I'm working so much in the summer. It's like I'm in the routine of I get home from work at 9 p.m. I'm making dinner and going to bed, and then I'm waking up
Mm-hmm.
and going to work. It's literally my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's just because I'm actually I don't know. It's a weird cycle to be in though.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier. The alarming thing. I just like I'm disappointed in myself because like I said, I'm not even tired and I'm just getting back in bed. But yeah, I've been better recently, but today really just fucking pissed me off because I've been saying I need to go get my taxes done for a while now. So I really got to get up tomorrow. Hopefully I get up and I just need to fix my sleep schedule in fucking general. But yeah.
My alarm goes off at 7:45, and so Sundays I usually try to go to bed earlier to kind of reset my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up at right away, and I got up and I was awake and I was on alert, and I
Mm-hmm.
grabbed my phone, and instead of just getting out of bed, I laid on my phone. I didn't go back to sleep. I just scrolled Twitter until 8:30. So it's like, dog, you're still gonna be late to work because you were just being stupid.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then today my alarm goes off. I shut it off. I wake back up at 8:45. It's like, damn. I went out and started my car because it was 8 degrees, and then I took a shower so it'd be really warm.
Uh huh.
And we were leaving work at 6:30, and the guy was working with was coming from college, so he came a little bit late. He was like, "Yeah, I still got my 8 hours in today," and I was like, "Yeah, I got 9." He was like, "No, you should have had 9.5." I was like, "No, I didn't come in today till 9:30." And he looks at me like concerned. He was like, "Why not?" I said, "Because I didn't walk in till 9:30. I didn't really give a fuck." He goes,
Okay.
fair enough."
Mm.
But
Last
yeah,
thing before we get out of here, I just want to mention this. I had a donut burger today. It was pretty good. I don't know
A
why.
donut
A
burger?
donut burger. Yeah. So I was taking care of my friend's dog, and her roommate comes in and was like, "Hey, Erlins, we're cooking downstairs. I made this for you."
Um, is it
No, 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 no,
is it the note girl?
no, 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 no. This is just
Has
a
that
friend.
gone
It's
anywhere?
just yeah, yo, yeah. Joe had asked me the other day. Yeah, we had gone bowling like a double date thing, and we're maybe we'll go out another time. But yeah, but I was telling Joe I just don't think we're like really like just super compatible because she's like somebody that just goes out all the time, like club it every week. Like that's her like going out to have a good time. I'm just
She's
like
kind of like Vanessa.
I will go to the club, but I'm not a clubber. You know what I mean? Like she's a clubber, but I'll go, but I'm not there every weekend and shit like that. But yeah, I was taking care of my friend's dog, so I'm over there, and then her roommate comes upstairs and hands me this plate, and I just see a donut on the top of it. I'm like, oh, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm not really a fan of donuts. I don't really like donuts. I'm good. And I see it's two donuts, and in between I see a huge fucking piece of lettuce, and it's a fucking donut burger. And I was like, dog, bro, all this progress I've made, and you come in here giving me a fucking Krispy Kreme glazed donut burger. But I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm gonna, try it, and it's pretty decent. I posted it in Good Eats so the guys can see it was pretty decent. But I would never ever do it again. And I know places I've had like the glazed donut like chicken sandwiches. Like I know KFC did that. But yeah, the glazed donut burger, it was good, but I would never do it again. And just a couple of days ago, I saw my lowest weight. I saw 222, and today to have a glazed fucking donut burger, I came home and had some fucking spaghetti. I already know it's gonna fucking spike back up tomorrow, so I just know, I just fucking know. But we'll get back right, and yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why, but yeah, glazed donut burger, not bad. And I don't even like donuts, but it wasn't bad. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. You should try it.
Bro, I love spaghetti. I don't eat meat. I love
Oh
spaghetti
shit,
so
sorry, my
much.
fault. I do too. I do too.
I could eat spaghetti every fucking night, and it's so bad for you, so I don't let myself. But it's
Mm-hmm.
oh, I love spaghetti. I might have spaghetti tomorrow. God damn it. But I was gonna say something. Oh, Punks is probably throwing a party. He probably saw that picture and was celebrating.
Bro, when I got so Dark was live today, and I got the like she handed me the donut burger, and I was like, bro, you like fuck, what did I say? I was like, Punks, guess what I just got? And he was like, what, an ice cream cake? Like, bro, and like bro, he pisses me off, and he tries to act all innocent, like, bro, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then just like a week ago, I was texting him, and I was like, bro, Punks, you're actually such an L friend. And he was like, for what? And he was like, bro, just because I tell you to get an ice cream cake or something like that. And I was like, bro, I don't need that. I'm not trying to bulk. That should be you that's bulking. And he was like, why don't you bulk with me? Why don't you go on this journey with me? And I'm like, dog, me going on a bulk isn't a fucking bulk. I'm just gaining weight again. Like he is the absolute worst. I don't know what it is with him and just me losing the weight. He just hates it for some reason. But Punks, man, I love you, and he's a hater. He's a D1 hater.
He's so. I don't think Punks realizes how funny he is,
I
because
don't
he's
even
got
give
like the
that guy
dry
credit.
sense of humor. I'm sorry, he's funny as hell, dog. I love Punks. Yeah, I think that's. Oh nope, I almost skipped out on the most important part of the whole episode.
We appreciate you guys watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. We're not even gonna talk about what Smalls was talking about. Just know it had something to do with Shaq and Wemby. And yeah, well, we'll see you guys on
And the
Tuesday.
size of them.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday. We hope you guys enjoyed. Go down, like, comment, sub if you haven't already. Head over to TikTok and show some love over there. And we'll see you guys Tuesday, like I said.
Oh
Peace.
yeah.